and welcome to the next episode of the VE Voidcast. My name is Rick, and I'm joined, as always, by Devin.
Hey there, Johnny.
Name's not Johnny.
Well, whatever.
Just for today, I suppose. What episode is this? Episode 9?
God, if I know.
This
Nine
is
too many.
This is episode 9. We've been doing this for far too long, as it is.
Yeah.
But we're still here.
If we didn't have Willie Weasel, I would have quit years ago.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. He, as I told him on SoundCloud, he is our light in the darkness. How you been?
Boy.
How you been, Devin?
Not too bad. Just been playing some cheeky games on my spring break.
All right, you're on your spring break.
Yep.
Mine is next week. Actually, technically, I'm on spring break because, well, sort of. I took my midterms. Those are done. But I still have 2 classes tomorrow, but they're easy peasy.
Okay.
They're easy boys. So I'm not too. I'm already feeling the spring break feelings. So I'm happy about that.
Once you're done with that last test, it's all over.
It's
you're
all
already
over.
On
You're
spring
already
break.
on spring break.
I'm surprised you're showing up to the classes.
Well, unfortunately, if I live, 2.5 hours away from my home, so I might as well go to the classes. I'm not getting picked up until after them anyway.
That's fair.
But, it's good. Feels good.
You
We
ready
got some
to
stuff
get
to talk
into it?
about today. We got some big, well, I think it's big doings. You're not convinced.
We'll see. All right, ladies and gentlemen, time for the news.
Here we go. Short news today. Short cast today, most likely, but short news as well. But it's big news, I think. No Man's Sky previews are out. And essentially what happened was a bunch of big gaming boys were given a half hour with the game, which to me seems a little bit short,
Considering the scale of the game,
it concerns me a little bit because the one that we're sourcing is from Giant Bomb, because that's the one I like the best. But a lot of people got to preview it, and the biggest thing that I saw through reading some of the previews was we didn't have enough time to really figure out what this game is all about. They have basic ideas. It's confirmed now that the game is a survival game. Mm-hmm. It has crafting and upgrades and things like that, and gathering materials and et cetera, et cetera. But it seems to be much more than that as well. But they didn't really have a chance to experience a whole heck of a lot. Which concerns me a little bit because I'm kind of wondering why weren't they given time to explore, why, I get it, the guys from Hello Games are from, where are they from? It's not America. The event was in LA, mm-hmm. and they're not from America, so I forget where they're from, but it was they didn't have unlimited time. Their time was very precious, but I think it would have been better if they'd had less people and given those people maybe 2 hours with the game.
The game is supposed to come out in June now, though, so it's not that far away.
That's what I'm saying. Why did we only get half an hour?
Well, they might be...
If the game is this close to completion, how come they're not showing us more?
Maybe either they don't feel they need to since the game's coming out and they've generated the hype they want, mm-hmm. or they're just trying to keep that illusion of mystery that we still don't really know what it is.
Yeah, and the mystery is something they've said they want to do.
The way they explain it, they want everything to be a new experience as soon as you start. They don't want anything to be leaked of what you're supposed to do. They just want you to learn for yourself.
That's true.
So it could be something simple like that, or it could be a bad sign. It's hard to say, but it's not that far out.
Right. So, I want to believe that is the reason, but the cynic in me is saying that maybe things aren't going quite as smoothly as they would like.
See, in my old age, I've come, if you try to hype me on something and then you don't give it to me in a certain amount of time, I just stop caring. I don't care about this game right now. When it comes out, that might change. But until it comes out, I could not care less.
Well, what we have seen, unfortunately, thus far is a lot of performance issues with the PS4. From the little bit that people got to play, there was noticeable frame drops below 30. And it's looking as though you'll actually even need to have a pretty good PC to run it well. And that could just be, obviously, the game is still months out, so if they could spend this time on optimization.
Yeah.
But, on the one hand, I'm happy that we know what the game is now. On the other hand, the fact that we saw so little of it has me, and what we saw had definite performance issues on PS4, has me a bit concerned. It's a 15-man team, I believe. Hello Games is.
Yeah, pretty small.
Something around there. And
Considering
they have an incredibly ambitious vision.
Yep.
For the game. So I really hope it lives up to the expectation because I fucking love Space Boy games. But, I'm not going to let myself get too stoked on it. Certainly won't be pre-ordering, I'll tell you that.
Yep.
But we'll see.
All
if
right.
It's good, I'll definitely buy it. Even though it's 60 bones. If it's
is
good, I'll pick it up.
If we spend another 5 minutes on this podcast talking about No Man's Sky before it comes out, I'm going to flip a gasket, Johnny.
Well, around May, I'm going to be talking about No Man's Sky a lot, assuming we get to see more of it. But for now, we can move on.
All right.
So this next one comes to us from news.xbox.com. Lionhead Studio has closed down, and the Fable Legends is canceled.
So yeah, Lionhead, the Microsoft studio that made the Fable games and some other stuff, is now dead in the water.
I mean, I'm not incredibly surprised by this. I wasn't expecting it to happen.
Yeah.
In the sense that but that's in the sense that I just don't think about Lionhead Studios.
Yeah, that's the issue.
That's nobody, what if Fable Legends looked okay when they showed it off?
Of it all, they're not hitting. They stopped hitting the mark of what people wanted after
Yeah.
Fable 3, and Fable 3 has its own issues.
Fable
I like
3 was
Fable
already
1 and
not
2.
Fantastic.
Fable 3 is, but then they made a Connect game, and then they made this free-to-play 4-person multi-whatever. What are you even doing?
It's not Fable.
Why are you taking this IP and just dumping it down the drain?
So
it surprised me, but looking at it now, Fable Legends obviously had some issues coming out because I don't even think they knew what they were trying to do.
Right.
And so they missed the mark, and now they're done.
Now they are done.
It's sad, but it happens.
Yep. Yeah, it is. But, I wasn't going to buy Fable Legends anyway.
No, well, it's free to play, so you don't have to pay little microtransactions, I
wouldn't
guess.
have downloaded it.
Oh, no, I wouldn't have wasted the bandwidth.
I probably wouldn't have bought Fable 4 if it was anything like Fable 3. So
that's what makes me sad, buddy, is Fable 1 and 2 are good. Fable 1 my favorite.
Great RPGs.
They didn't have to do much to just improve that, but they just kept going we got to do all this, change it up, and they just started stripping it away of what Fable 1 was.
Yep.
So I don't know what they were doing all this time.
Yeah, Fable used to be a pretty a pillar of the Western RPG.
Yep.
Back in the day, Fable 1, you didn't have quite as many Western RPGs during the JRPG bonanza.
Yep. So I don't know what they were doing, but man,
it's rough. It is sad, but it is what it is. There's other games to play, I guess.
Yep. And well, that's the news.
That's all we're doing for news today. Kind of a slow week. There were a couple other things that happened, but nothing really worth diving into too deeply.
In indeed.
So now we're going to move on to a little segment that we like to call Devin's Pit Stop in Hyrule.
That's right, buddy. With this spring break, I've been playing Twilight Princess HD.
Now, this section is going to be pretty much all Devin because I could not care less about Twilight Princess HD.
Here's the thing, buddy. So I started playing, and I'm like, wait a minute. Going back to my memory of 2006, this game was garbage.
Oh, you thought it was garbage back in the day?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, see, I never thought it was a bad Zelda.
My issue is, in my mind, when I think Twilight Princess, I think about moving my Wiimote. Wiggling around.
Yep.
So once that was gone out of my head, I started playing, and I was like, oh, this is actually a decent game.
Yeah, minus the shitty waggle controls. Twilight Princess, I like the GameCube version Twilight Princess. It's a very middle of the road Zelda.
Yeah, it's not one of the greats, but it's not bad.
It doesn't touch games like Ocarina, Majora, Wind Waker, Link to the Past.
Yeah, in no way.
But it's certainly not, one of the worst entries. It's no Skyward Sword. We can certainly say that.
Yeah, so I'm enjoying myself. Played 15 hours so far. I got my Master Sword earlier, so now it's time to plow a little booty.
I like that.
And so, some changes to the game, since it's on the Wii U now. Obviously, they did some texture stuff, but like actual changes. They did some like quality of life stuff. In the game, you have to go collect tears to like clear an area of Twilight.
Right, that's what you have to do with Wolf Link, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that was one of the biggest complaints about Twilight Princess was that was very repetitive.
And so they kept that, but they reduced the amount of tears. Not by a lot, it's like 10 now that you have to collect versus 15. But they made a small little effort to reduce some of that. And then they made a few fixes. I think there was like a chest fix where the chest would reclose itself and you wouldn't know if you've already opened it or not. What else was there? Oh, my favorite one is once you learn how to turn to Wolf Link on the fly, you used to have to like go through the menu and talk to Midna.
Right.
Which sucked. Now, on the gamepad, there's just a button you press that automatically switches you back and forth.
Ah, that is nice.
Yeah.
That's a nice change.
Yeah, so they made some just quality of life stuff changes, and it's nice. Controls, they use the gyroscope like they did in Wind Waker, which works fine. You don't have to use it if you don't want to aim. And yeah, so I'm about halfway through the game. I'm liking it. I think it's a solid Zelda game. And there's not much more to say.
All right, I like that. Maybe someday when I pick up a Wii U from a garage sale for 10 bones, a couple years from now, I'll pick up HD Twilight Princess.
You're not going to. Don't lie to yourself.
Yeah, probably not.
Every time I told you this week I'm playing Twilight Princess, you told me to kill myself.
Well, that's a fair point. But that's only because I want you to play Street Fighter already.
Well, if I'm going to not play Twilight Princess, I'm going to play Stardew Valley, which I have been playing a little bit of.
As have I. We talked a little bit about Stardew Valley, or at least I did, last week, right?
Yep. That's what sold me on it.
Yeah, now Devin's bought it. He's playing it. Izzy's bought it. Our friend Izzy, he is playing the crap out of it.
Oh God, he's losing his life.
Nate,
to the game.
According to Steam, as of right now, has bought Stardew Valley.
It's about time.
Either that, or he torrented it and then added it to his Steam library like a cunt.
Now, for those of you who you may know Nate as Nasty Nate the Kid.
Nasty Nate the Kid. This is Nasty Nate the Kid.
Well, I'll warn you right now, unless he buys an actual microphone, he will never be on this podcast again.
No, he's not coming back.
That was garbage.
Unless he goes out and buys a microphone. Because I'm not cleaning that shit up again.
Yeah, I think he did fine, like, talking-wise. His microphone, though. Oh
not
boy.
Not great.
Could hear my own mic going through his. But yeah,
Stardew Valley. I've put in, I think, probably 15, 18 hours now into it. I have
put in 7.
I did 2 farms. This is kind of the way that I recommend playing. You don't have to play like this, but this is what I did. I played one file, brand spanking new. Did not read anything about like what does what or how to do what the best, and I just played. And I had fun doing that. But I got to about 3/4 away through the first year, and I started realizing that my lack of knowledge of the game I was missing things that I didn't want to miss. And so at that point, I went back and I made this new farm, and this is the farm now where I'm using the knowledge that I gained on the first farm and what I've read to make sure that I hit all the high points that I want to hit. Like, for example, I missed the Egg Festival the first time through.
Ooh,
what a mistake. Buddy. What a mistake. The Egg Festival is a treat.
Oh, it is.
And I recommend everybody go to it. How'd you win? The blue-haired girl got like 1,000,000 eggs.
You know, Rick, I don't want to brag or anything, but I like to think I'm good at video games, unlike you.
Good God. It's too much.
You know.
But anyways, Stardew Valley, I think what I like most about Stardew Valley is that it isn't just farming. So Harvest Moon kind of had that Animal Crossing like social aspect, and it had the farming aspect, and that was pretty much it. Some of them had some weird stuff, like A Wonderful Life had some weird fairy stuff going on, and
they had that in the DS version as well.
Oh, it was in the DS version. There's like a magic forest, and they give you a blue flower, and that's how you get a wife or something. I don't know. It was weird. It had some eerie stuff going on in the valley, but the core of the gameplay was social and farming. This game has a lot of different stuff that you can do. You can farm, huh?
I like the trifecta of what you want to do. You either want to farm, you want to fish, or you want to mine.
Yep. As far as money-making schemes go, that's what you want to be doing. And all of those activities, you cycle through them, and you can make money from all of them. You can get good stuff from all of them, and they're all... So you cycle through, and that way everything stays fun, everything stays fresh. I will say, in the very early game, like the first season, like spring, fishing is a little bit OP.
Really?
Fishing, if you're good at the minigame, which on my second playthrough, obviously I was, fishing, like, accelerates the game so much. If all you do in the beginning of the game is fish, you make way more money than you make farming or mining. And that starts to... The benefits of fishing start to taper off as the game goes on. As you obviously have the ability to make more farms, or like more, different types of seeds, and you get the greenhouse, and you can grow the best stuff from other seasons within the greenhouse. So things like that are kind of make fishing less OP. But in the beginning of the game, when all you got are fucking parsnips, fishing is the only way to make money.
Yeah, I see fishing kind of as a way to get you started. You start off humble, Rick. You fish, you start growing your crops, and you use your money from fishing to eventually make farming worth it.
Right. The idea, at least as far as I understand it, is you fish until you can farm. You want to fish to get the money to afford things like the barn or the coop or the silo and things like that, so you can get livestock and create grazing fields and stuff like that. Once you do all that, farming becomes much more lucrative, and fishing is always a good way to make money, but I think after a while farming is more fun, and farming becomes as good of a way to make money as fishing over time. So humble beginnings. Start off, if you want to make money fast, start off with fishing. Pro tip, you'll have money. It took me my first playthrough before, I didn't get the fishing rod till day 15.
Yeah.
And all I was doing was farming. And it took me a week to get to that 2,000 gold for the upgraded backpack.
Yep.
And you need that backpack day 1. And if you fish, you'll have that backpack by day 2 or day 3.
Yep.
So fishing is I think fishing was intended to be a little bit overpowered in the beginning. I think that was the intention, because you get that letter from Willie the fisherman on day 2. So obviously the Concerned Ape, the creator of the game, wants you to fish early. And I guess you can make an argument that maybe farming should be more worth it in the early game, so you can choose you want to fish, you want to farm. But I kind of like the humble beginnings fishing in order to be able to afford your farm gear. I kind of like that style.
I'm enjoying it, so I've got nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. What else we got to talk? We talk about the mine.
The mine. It's cool.
What floor are you on? How far down did you get?
I think I'm only I'm a little past 10.
Oh, okay. On my first file, I made it to about 60. I think 50, something like that. And it's good. I like the combat. Yeah, I'm into it. There's lots of different weapons. There's armor and stuff, and the combat is an interesting, kind of divergence from the typical Harvest Moon type format. I know I'm comparing it to Harvest Moon a lot, but it's kind of impossible not to.
Yeah, it was definitely inspired by Harvest Moon.
Heavily. So heavily. I think I don't know if this wasn't out of the developer's mouth or anything, but what I've read is that it was intended to be a spiritual successor to Friends of Mineral Town, which is widely regarded as the best Harvest Moon game of all time. I still prefer A Wonderful Life, but, that's just me. I think most people prefer Mineral Town.
I wouldn't know. I never played them.
They're a good series, although I don't know how well they'd hold up now that you've played Stardew. Because I will say Stardew is everything that I could want. Everything, like, when I played Harvest Moon and I was like, man, I wish I could do this, or I had this option, like, that option is in Stardew Valley.
Yep.
I often found myself thinking, like, man, I wish that I could, like, customize my farm a little bit, because at least in A Wonderful Life and the other Harvest Moons I've played, your farm is, like, you get it and it's, like, decrepit and kind of run down, just like in Stardew, but the buildings are already there. The barn is already there. The coop is already there. And you don't pay to build them. You pay to repair them, to bring them back to working order. So you don't get to decide where they go. So a fully upgraded farm in Harvest Moon looks just like every other fully upgraded farm in Harvest Moon. So I like that in Stardew Valley you can kind of place your buildings and, it just adds... no farm looks the same.
Yep. I'm enjoying the game. It's fun.
It is fun. It's a lot of fun.
I'm giving it the old Devin thumbs up.
I'm giving it the double thumbs up. I think it's $15.
Yeah. Oh boy, that's value right there.
The value is unreal. You should all be playing it.
Yep.
Very good game.
And
I think that's it for what we've been playing. Well,
yep.
I've been playing Street Fighter, obviously, but I don't really have much to say about that. I've just been practicing. I'm bronze. I'll say that. I don't know what
that means.
It means that I am no longer a rookie.
Okay.
I am a bronze-ranked player, so follow me on the path to more success as I hunt for silver.
I'll see you in Evo, Johnny.
Maybe I should make a YouTube series of me learning how to play Street Fighter. That might be kind of fun. Although I think I would need to find somebody who's good at Street Fighter to have in the video as well. Otherwise, it would just be me dropping combos left and right.
Yeah, I guess that would be kind of boring.
I'll have to find... Maybe Izzy can join in and be a guest star, and he can teach me some smooth moves.
I can't believe Izzy was like, oh, I'm so bad. Just, and then he's not bad. He's not bad at all.
Izzy is really good at Street Fighter. His Bison is so good.
I thought I was just playing bad, but hearing you say his Bison's good, now I realize, I never stood a chance.
No, his Bison is stellar. Like, really good. I cannot beat his Bison. But anyway, enough Street Fighter talk. Maybe we'll do a Street Fighter, maybe later this month when Alex comes out and they do the big update with the Battle Lounge and what have you. Maybe we'll come back and talk about Street Fighter a little bit more.
Maybe we'll do a little fireside Street Fighter.
Ooh, not a bad... I was thinking about doing one for Stardew Valley.
I mean, you can do as many as you want.
I just got to figure out, because I do think we released the first episode, and I don't think it's very well suited to audio only. I think it's got to have video.
Yeah, I can see that.
I think it's got to have video.
Much better to when you're explaining stuff.
So all the listeners here are getting a little behind-the-curtain look at the thought process into our podcast series. Fireside Cast will return, but as a video, so I can show you what I'm doing. New form. But first I gotta learn how to edit videos. So once I figure that out, the world's my fucking oyster.
All right, buddy. And with that, it is time for the main topic of the show.
Main topic.
And today we'll be talking Mr. Nintendo with that March 3rd Nintendo Direct.
Yeah, there was a Nintendo Direct. Announced a lot of stuff. Not too thrilled about most of it.
Yeah, well, it's your standard fare for this time of year because they have to hold their cards on whatever they're going to show at E3, but they still got to satisfy the young Mr. Nintendo fans.
They do. They got to put something out. Give them a little
treat. So,
but I don't know if I would call very many Mr. Nintendo fans satisfied with this. I mean, there's some good. There's a couple of good ones, but the one that I was most hyped for is the one that let me down the most. So I'm a little bit salty, a little bit biased.
Any of the good ones in here are really nothing compared to what good one should be.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So
I guess
kinda,
we're taking the scraps.
Yeah, we're taking the scraps.
So,
we're coming in for the scraps, Frank style.
Yep. After Federation Force and that E3, we're like, just give us,
boy.
just come on, just give us a little scraps.
Apparently, they reworked Federation Force a little bit, and it's still garbage. Nobody still wants it. Like, they've been working real hard on trying to make it not garbage, and it's still garbage because it's not Metroid Prime.
Yep. So, all right, talking about garbage, let's get into the first thing that we noticed in the Direct. Paper Mario Color Splash. Let me start this off, Rick, by saying Paper Mario, one of my favorite Nintendo IPs.
Absolutely. It's mine as well.
There's a lot. I'd have to think about it. It's probably my number one. Paper Mario 1 and 2 make me swoon.
Yeah, even Super Mario RPG on the SNES which is kind of a spiritual, well, not successor.
Paper
What's
Mario
the opposite
is the
of that?
spiritual successor.
Paper Mario spiritual
RPG.
successor. What is Super Mario RPG is what, the precursor?
Yeah.
Is that the word?
I think
precursor?
So. Sure.
I went a little Jack and Daxter on it there, but I think that's correct.
Not like anyone's going to listen to tell us it's not.
That's a fair point. But anyways, we're not happy.
No, it's Sticker Star 2, and I don't like Sticker Star.
Let me make sure that I have this correct. It's confirmed there is no level system, and there's no partners, as far as we know.
Yeah, I don't know if we can say confirmed, but from what we've seen, yeah, there didn't look to be anything. You have a little paint bucket following you, doesn't seem to do anything.
If there's no level, if there's no leveling system, there's no point.
Yeah,
people on NeoGAF were trying to give it a pass. Like, you guys haven't played it yet. I don't need to play it. If there's no level system, it's not Paper Mario. Yeah, just like people tried to give Paper Mario, Super Paper Mario a pass.
No.
It's not Paper Mario. Call it something else.
It's not.
Sticker Star, not Paper Mario.
So the main thing of Color Splash is you now use cards, which are essentially the same as stickers, but you're like limited. It's like a card game. You get a hand, you probably draw cards, whatever.
That works so well for Chain of Memories.
We don't.
Worked perfect. Worked perfect for that game.
We don't.
Why not do it again with one of your major IPs?
Rick, I mean, Johnny, that's not a real game you're talking about.
Fucking Mr. Nintendo, I swear to God.
Well, that's
this is getting me hot. This is getting me riled up.
It's because we love Paper Mario.
Because we love Paper Mario.
For a third game, they've failed us. There's going to be 5 Paper Mario games, and 3 of them, the latest 3, have failed us. What's the saddest thing is Sticker Star has sold the most, which is why they made this game. But it sold the most because the other 2 Paper Marios came out at a time where there wasn't so many people like looking for that. It was kind of a no-name thing.
Yeah.
And then by Sticker Star, everyone knew what Paper Mario could be. And
yeah,
it was
I'm sure
Sticker
Star rode the coattails.
Rode it.
Thousand Year Door and the original.
Yeah.
People didn't read and said, "Hey, Paper Mario is a new Paper Mario, great." And then they got what they got. It's a fucking garbage heap.
And by the time they bought it, it's too late, and that's why it sold so well. It's on the 3DS, has a good install base.
Oh, it's got great install base.
And so it was too late. You may have the train of thought like me, who loved first 2, then got Super Paper Mario, was not happy, and was like, "Oh, Sticker Star, this one may be the one that's gonna bring it back."
Yeah, because on the surface, Sticker Star, when you hear the sticker mechanic, it sounds like badges.
Yeah, it does.
And badges were perfect. They were great. Stickers
Paper
are not.
Mario. So Color
Paper
Splash.
Mario.
I watched a video on YouTube by Game Explain. It was an analysis video, 24 minutes, where he dived into it, got all the bits and pieces.
24 minutes?
Yeah. And he had some compelling stuff, but nothing was still good enough to warrant playing this game.
Yeah, no.
Like, some of the ideas were like, "Oh, that's cool," but why don't you just make
That's the thing.
real Paper Mario?
Like, I love the aesthetic. The cardboard look. Love it.
Visually,
beautiful.
The best it's been.
Beautiful. but I'm not gonna buy it if it's not Paper Mario, and this isn't Paper Mario.
Yeah. It saddens me, Rick.
Yep. Mr. Nintendo really botched this franchise.
Mr. Nintendo can't do it all.
Well, can't do much, quite frankly.
Well,
He's
Rick.
botched Star Fox. Actually, Star Fox might be okay. We're not sure yet.
We don't talk about that game.
It looks like garbage, like visually, but gameplay, it looks like it might be like Star Fox 64. So maybe they didn't botch that one, but either way.
But Rick, Splatoon has sold 4 million copies. Mr. Nintendo's got it somewhere.
That's true. He's got it somewhere, just not where I'd prefer it.
Well, I prefer it where it is for Splatoon 2, baby.
Yeah, true. Yeah, true. Splatoon 2's got to be down the pipe.
On the NX, hopefully.
Got to be NX.
Well, yeah, actually, I don't know why I said hopefully.
It's got because NX has got to be 2016.
They want to dump the Wii U as soon as they can.
Release. It has to be. Because they wouldn't release a console early 2017, and they can't afford to wait till fall 2017 to release the NX.
Yeah.
Because the units are going into production.
Yep.
So, it's got to be fall.
So, yeah. Either way, Paper Mario is now completely dead to me. I had a glimmer of hope. I'm like, come on, baby. Come on.
This was on the Wii U. This was
dead.
their chance.
Yep.
This was their chance to be like, look, Sticker Star was a pile of hot, steaming garbage, so we're going to give you a console Paper Mario that is exactly what you want, and they didn't fucking do it. It's so simple. It's so simple. Everything about that game is what I want, except they took out the RPG part.
Yep. That's all it needs. It just needs the RPG.
But it also needs partners.
Yeah, well, that system. Just that
The partner
nice
system
chunk.
is perfect.
So yeah, in the ashes of Paper Mario, I just asked Mr. Nintendo, just give me Paper Mario 1 on the 3DS. Just kind of remake that.
True.
Do it for me, and then
True.
I'll give up on that. That's
shut
all
up.
I want.
I'll stop talking. I'll stop complaining about the Paper Mario franchise if you give me a way to play Paper Mario N64 on a portable.
Oh man, I would die. I played that game so many times, and I know it by heart, but I'll play it again.
Oh yeah.
I bought it on Wii just to play it again, and I did it, and I was like, well, Paper Mario.
If they even found a way to, if they somehow like on the NX handheld, whatever it ends up being, if they found a way to make Thousand Year Door on there, ooh, mama,
give it to me, Mr. Nintendo.
give it to me, Mr. Nintendo.
Just give it to me.
But anyway,
all right.
Color Splash looks like shit.
Yep, that's
this is a Devin game. Tokyo Mirage Sessions FE.
So this is Shin Megami Tensei X Fire Emblem. This is the English name, Tokyo Mirage Sessions FE. This is going to be on the Wii U. Comes out, what was it, June
24th.
June 24th. So this is just a game by Atlas. It's a JRPG. It's not real. There's really no Fire Emblem in it, but it's an Atlas JRPG, and I like that.
It's Atlas. They're not going to fuck it up.
Yeah, it's cool. It's about the Tokyo entertainment industry, like idols and stuff. So I'm curious. It looks very colorful and fun, and I like a good Atlas JRPG. I don't just play any JRPG, but I'll play any Atlas JRPG, let me tell you what.
Oh, yeah.
So this is just one I'm interested in. There's not going to be English voices, which makes sense because there's singing, and it's Japanese music.
Prefer the Jap voices anyway.
Yeah, so it's going to be subbed. That being said, though, this game's not going to sell very good.
No.
I'm calling it right now. No one but me is going to buy this game.
If I had a Wii U, I'd buy it with you, but...
Yeah, I was surprised they actually were going to bring it over. I was like... I mean, they showed it in the North American Nintendo Direct, so they were going to, but I'm like... It's kind of surprising that you're going to use resources to bring this over, because you're not going to make any money. This game's not going to sell.
No.
As sad as it is. But I'm happy. I'm getting it, and that's what I'm going to be playing this June. Unless Persona 5 comes out.
Oh, true.
Ooh. And I'll play it eventually. I'll play Tokyo Mirage sometime, but Persona 5's a true Atlas JRPG.
Yeah, Persona 5 takes priority for sure.
It takes priority over literally anything that happens when it comes out. So those are the only two Wii U games I saw that really mattered to me. So Star Fox is
next up. This is a pretty cool thing. SNES is coming to the Virtual Console but it's coming to the new 3DS Virtual Console.
Yeah, so I think they released the first 3 games the day of the Direct, which was like Super Mario World and 2 other things. No, Super Metroid, not yet.
Oh, not yet for that one?
The only 3 I think I were into was Super Mario World, Super Metroid, and A Link to the Past.
Oh,
yeah,
that's a good lineup.
Yeah, I think there's 9 games in total, but those 3, and I think they're doing it 3 at a time, and each of those is going to be in one of those sets.
Yeah, this is really cool because, like, a lot of times I don't really want to sit at, like, a console and play a SNES game anymore.
Yeah.
But I would love to take SNES on the go, and so now we have a way of doing that. While you have a way of doing it, I will eventually have a way of doing it, because it's only coming to the new 3DS.
Yeah, so I tried to look into why, and I read an article on engadget.com, which was just talking about how the original 3DSs don't have the processing power to do it, and was talking about how the Game Boy Advance games never came to 3DS unless you had bought it day one and got the Ambassador program.
Right.
But I haven't actually played those, and I was reading that they don't run very well.
Huh.
Like, you have them, but they're not seamless. They're kind of have their issues. So it makes sense. Because
yeah, they do say that emulation, what's the rule? To emulate a game properly, you have to have a certain amount of power times a number. What is it, though? Is it double the power? I don't know.
I would at least double, yeah, I'd say.
Emulation is it takes a lot more power than even a 3DS game would take to run. So it does make sense. It may not, like, on the surface may not seem like it makes sense, but under the hood, emulation takes a lot of power.
Yeah, and owning a new 3DS now, the processing power is significantly improved over the regular 3DS. Like, just turning it on is a snap of the fingers versus where it's like 10 seconds to boot up on my original 3DS.
Yep.
So I can see where that makes sense. It kind of sucks it's exclusive to the new 3DS, but yeah.
I'd rather not have it on old 3DS than have it half-assed.
Yeah.
Or, like, not half-assed, but, like, just not run well.
Yeah,
focus your energy on making sure it runs great on the new 3DS, and as long as it does, that's just one more reason for me to get a new 3DS, which I already plan on doing at some point. So
they're nice. They're actually nice. So yeah, that's coming to the new 3DS in its waves. I'll be buying A Link to the Past because I want to replay that game. It's been so long, I really don't remember much of it, and that's good so that I can play it again.
Right.
All right, and then next, this one, it was just a little side thing, Monster Hunter Generations. I've never played a Monster Hunter game, so I'm like, maybe this is the one. It looked all right.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a new 3DS, that's a different story. I personally can't handle not having a second analog stick in a game like Monster Hunter.
I think you have to. I think you have to buy the attachment if you have an original 3DS. I don't know for sure.
I think you can control it without it. It's just very, very cumbersome. I don't know. I'm kind of two minds on Monster Hunter, at least as far as 3DS Monster Hunters go. I like the series. I like what they're doing. But to me, the experience of fighting gigantic monsters just doesn't translate well to a handheld.
That's fair.
Wii U version sounds great. 3DS version, I'm a little less stoked on. But with the second analog stick for the new 3DS, it might be worth playing. Yeah. So,
that being said, it's not a full analog stick on the new 3DS. It's like this.
How does it feel, by the way? I meant to ask you. It's a little nub, right?
Yeah. So it's just this nub that sticks up that's sensitive enough to feel your movements, but it's not as nice as an analog stick. As like something to control. I haven't played anything that like controls the camera with it. I can see for controlling a camera and not being too bad.
Do you have Majora's Mask? 3DS?
I do have Majora's Mask. Yes.
Pretty sure that uses it.
Okay, well when I play it, I'll let you know.
I think it uses it.
Yeah, I want to pick up Xenoblade.
Ooh,
Chronicles.
Yeah, true.
Give that another shot. See
AKA the only new 3DS exclusive title to ever exist.
Yeah, very strange. So yeah, that is just whatever, Monster Hunter. Mm-hmm. Maybe, we'll see when it gets closer if I decide. Probably not, but got excited from the trailer.
Yeah.
And so now our final game from the Direct that I cared about at all, Kirby Planet Robobot.
This looked fun.
Yeah, it's a new Kirby on 3DS.
Looked like a good Kirby title.
To me personally, and I know it's a lie, it feels like it's been a long time since we got a regular Kirby title that wasn't made of yarn or clay.
I don't think that's a lie. We've been getting Kirby Epic Yarn. Or did we get a second Kirby Epic Yarn? Or was that Yoshi's Woolly World? Was there ever a sequel to Epic? I don't think there was.
Maybe.
I don't remember.
Because there's the yarn ones, there's the clay ones, and I think they're different games with like kind of endless runners type of thing. Well, not endless runners, but you run on a path that you use with the stylist.
Yeah.
And then I know the Wii got an actual Kirby game, but I mean it's on the Wii.
Yeah.
So whatever. And I think there was one 3DS game that came out a year or two ago, but I don't remember it ever being talked about. And so this one, I was like, oh,
I would like. This one looks like it could be a Kirby similar to like a Dreamland.
Yeah, and that's what I'm.
What was that game called? Kirby Curse of the. Shit. What was it called? Yeah, like the Game Boy Advance one. It's like one of the best Kirby's ever.
Nightmare in Dreamland.
Nightmare in Dreamland.
Yeah, like that's what I want. It's just another one of those.
Yeah, because that game's fantastic. I played the shit out of that game on Game Boy Advance.
That's a good one.
Great platformer.
And so this one has Robobot. It's about Kirby getting a mech suit, and his mech suit also gets different forms, just like Kirby would. And so I'm excited. I like Kirby a lot.
Yeah, so do I. Kirby's one of my favorite platformers.
Just for me, the reason I like it I don't really play platformers, but Kirby, the fact that I get to suck people up and gain their powers for some reason just does it for me. Like, that's all I need. That's it. And
yeah, I'm a pretty big platformer guy, and Kirby, it's a little easy, but most of them. But I still, they're well designed. They have cool bosses, cool powers.
Yeah.
So
this one, does it have a release date?
June 10th.
June 10th. Yeah, and it's also coming out with its own line of amiibos. 4 new amiibos. And I will be buying those. 2 of them.
They're much better than any Kirby amiibo so far.
Yeah, I'm buying Kirby and I'm buying Meta Knight.
Oh, you got it, yeah. What are the other 2?
King Dedede, which I heard the general consensus on the new Dedede is not good compared to the other one we already have.
Oh, really?
Because he does like this weird thing with his hands. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have, I forget what his name is. It's this side character. He's such a boss. I'm going to look it up. But yeah, so I'm excited about this.
Yeah, this is 3DS, yeah?
Yes.
I'll probably pick it up. If it's similar to Dreamland.
We can only hope.
We can only hope, because Dreamland was fantastic.
Yeah. I played the one mirror game. That one was pretty good.
Oh, yeah. I'm forgetting the name of that one, too, but that is good.
That was like almost a Metroidvania type of game.
Yeah.
In its weird way.
That was good. That was a good title.
Yeah, so Kirby Planet Robobot, I'm excited for.
Yeah, that's probably the one I'm most excited for of the Direct. It looks pretty good.
And that's about it. There was some other stuff that other people might be into. I know there was a rhythm game people were kind of excited for, but I had never played the game in the series, so it's not for us to talk about.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think, we can wrap it up.
All right, final. So that is the end of the final topic. I mean, the actual topic. And so let's do a little closing notes. Remind people.
Yep.
Ori in the Blind Forest.
Have you started it yet?
No.
Oh, my.
It's only the 9th, Rick.
I know, but while we're talking about it, though, you have 3 weeks exactly to beat Ori. And it's not a short game, Devin.
How long are we talking?
Since you don't if you don't know what you're doing, I think it'll probably take 12, 15 hours.
Okay. I'll probably after spring break, once I beat Twilight Princess, get my fill of Stardew, I'll probably start it.
That means no Street Fighter.
Rick, you can't cage me.
God damn. I watched an hour and a half long Ryu video so that I made sure that I knew everything there was to know about basic Ryu combos so I could teach you when you started playing, and you're not playing.
Rick, I'm like a wild stallion, my boy. Or Johnny. You can't cage me.
Oh my god.
I can't be so into just one game. Life is a journey. And I've got to play as much as I can before my journey gets to a stop and I fall into a volcano and die.
I can't argue with that logic, I guess.
So,
I'll still be playing more Street Fighter. When we do that, we will be doing that Street Fighter look back. Probably we'll call it like the Street Fighter 1 month retrospective after I've tried out Battle Lounge and Alex and the challenge system and see how I feel about all of it.
That's fair. Maybe by then I'll decide to be caged a little bit. I doubt it.
Yeah, I doubt it as well. I've given up on you ever playing Street Fighter, even though you paid full retail price for it.
Well, I didn't. I did not.
Well, like 40 something, right?
I think I paid like 35.
35. Key resellers. I mean, it's a dirty business, but goddamn, the discounts are deep.
And for this particular game, I knew if I was going to buy it, I had to get a little dirty with it. Just in case. I know myself, Rick. I know myself pretty good.
Yeah.
And with that, my boy, I think that's the end of episode 9.
Episode 9. A little bit shorter. We're trying out a new format where we don't talk as much, I guess.
We got to keep it tight.
We're trying to keep it tighter. We're trying to keep it under an hour. We're shooting for between 45 minutes and an hour.
Because I think an hour 15, which we've been hitting, is a little daunting.
It's a little bit long because nobody gives a fuck who we are.
Exactly.
We got to give
them
them
care, then we'll give them
chunks.
all we want.
Yeah, we can go Giant Bomb long form in a couple years when we have millions of listeners. But until that point,
well, that's a little too long. I don't know if I have that kind of time in my life.
Well, we could maybe do 2 hours. I bet.
Yeah, probably. If we get on some new people,
if people start caring, with the 4 people, we could easily hit 2 hours.
Yeah,
simple.
That'd be one thing.
That's simple. We hit 2.5 hours, just the 2 of us.
Well, we were young lads.
We were young, and that was a train wreck of a podcast, but
there
was
a lot of pauses. And, oh, boy.
Oh, what a treat that was.
All right. Well, you can follow us on Twitter at VE_Voidcast.
Also, leave us, if you could, a little review on iTunes. We're trying to get enough ratings and reviews to display a star rating on iTunes. We don't have enough yet. So I can't tell how close we are or not. It just says we don't have enough. So if you don't mind, head on over to iTunes, drop us a review.
Comment
if you like it, comment. And
if you're on SoundCloud, YouTube, anything.
And get us out there. Give us some feedback. Get us out there. Share us with your pals.
We're 9 episodes in, Rick. No one's giving us feedback.
We're 9 episodes in, and we're not going anywhere.
We could have figured out 8 episodes ago that no one wants this.
That's a good point. Point.
They're like, just stop. just come on. Just stop it. So, all right. Try not to die, listeners, if you're out there.
And we will see you next week.